Hello everyone, welcome back to Blackjack. It is the day after Komori-Con. You know how it is. You spend 3 days walking around on shoes that were not meant to be used for long distances. You're sore, you're a little cranky. You're glad you went. You're glad you went. Yeah, you can't speak correctly. You're glad that you went, but you're also glad it's over. That's me right now. But you know, the world moves on, and with it comes new episodes of Death Battle. Sauron versus the Lich King. I may feel like death, but these guys actually are death. Yes. Yep.
Sauron, the Lord of the Rings. The Lich King, Warcraft's Lord of the Scourge. Evil has many shapes, but few can match the presence of these kings of blight and shadow.
Cool.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Ah, sweet. 2 CG battles in a row.
Within the timeless halls, at the dawn of creation, the supreme god Eru and his angelic Ainur created all of existence through a single harmonious song. But one of these angels just had to be a rebel.
Yeah.
Melkor ruined that harmony, giving the world its many, many imperfections. Like Wiz. Then after messing up God's hit single and going rogue, Melkor took a
region of everlasting cold.
More metal, more God. Morgoth's power was impressive.
Okay, Melkor was named Morgoth Vale, King Feanor. Morgoth means dark enemy. Feanor needed
Several Maiar, essentially lower-ranked angels, joined
figure
him
out
in
how
his
to
frightening
name
conquest of the
something
world
better.
he had helped create.
And
the greatest of these followers was one obsessed with destroying all life in the pursuit of bringing about complete order. He used to be Myron, but under Morgoth's reign, he became the one...
I wonder, would destroying all life really create pure order? Because you still have sneaker waves. I mean, earthquakes, I imagine, are kind of order. It's just they're unpredictable to life, so, you know, I guess, what the heck? Why did that drop down all of a sudden? I don't know. You still have natural disasters, and most of them do happen at apparent random, but would it matter then if there is no life for it to affect? Because I guess if you don't have life, you don't have forest fires, because you don't have forests. Gosh, but you still have stuff like sneaker waves. Yeah.
And only Sauron. As the big wig of Morgoth's forces, Sauron...
Alright, Myron, Anatar, Gorthor, Sigur. Goodness, he's got a lot of names. At least 54,950 years old. Cool. Creator and bearer of the one... first bearer of the One Ring, second in command of Morgoth's armies. Cool.
Sauron spent thousands of years bringing Middle-earth to its knees. He's almost more a force of nature than anything else, able to create infernos, cause country-spanning earthquakes, and even absorb souls. And because he's a weird angel spirit man, he can morph his body around his own soul however he wants, or just shed it like clothing and fight as a ghost. He can morph far
I said this on the trailer, or the, you know, when they do the battle preview. Boomstick's devotion to always saying it, ghost, is quite admirable. I like that running joke.
He has appeared as something akin to both man and elf, attractive and devious.
So, an elf man, you say? Have I ever told you about my taste in music?
Wolf, once thought to be the greatest wolf of all, and even a vampire. Oh man, Tumblr's gonna go nuts with that. Many of his greatest accomplishments are not due to his powerful magics and weaponry, but his inhuman cunning. Sauron is nothing less than a master of manipulation. He's like if Loki and Satan did a fusion dance. He loves to trick someone with illusions, shadow magic, or just by toying with their sad, predictable, pathetic human emotions. Like when he convinced Saruman to join the evil side, who was basically a super wizard specifically meant to lead the charge against Sauron.
Oh man, that's gotta suck.
Than the master he served. In the most epic war to eclipse all other wars, humans, dwarves, elves, and more united to destroy Morgoth, casting what remained of Melkor into the void. But
yeah, and we all know what happened after that.
Faster than me at a divorce hearing, just to show back up centuries later in the fiery pits of Mordor. There, the Dark Lord created a plan to conquer everything. He fooled the Elven Smiths into forging 19 rings of power and planted them among the leaders of Elven, Man, and Dwarven kind, all controlled by another ring he made in secret.
Yeah, so he made it.
Them all. One ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. Oh God, that's so epic. Think I'm into poetry now. Forged in the fire using...
Okay, the Ring of Power is Isildur's Bane. Contains part of Sauron's essence. Powers granted dominion over other rings of power. Enhanced natural traits, and he already had some killer natural traits. Enhanced perception, increased longevity. Isn't he more or less, well, not truly immortal? I mean, if he's in death battle, he can be killed. But, like, he's extremely long-lived to begin with. Like, you know, there's immortality insofar as you cannot die under any means whatsoever. And then there's immortality is you can be killed, but you won't die of aging or sickness. Invisibility, mental domination, prophecy. He didn't already have the gift of prophecy? Nearly indestructible.
Part of Sauron's own soul, the One Ring amplified his power and let him control the minds and actions of the other ring bearers. The 9 kings of men were especially vulnerable and saw themselves reduced to twisted wraiths bent to Sauron's whims. It wasn't any better for the less kingly humans, so much so that Sauron mind-controlled most of Numenor. We're talking about an island nation that could have had as many as...
Okay, this estimated population is credited to Dr. Stephen Wigmore, a doctor of philosophy from the University of Warwick.
18 million people, and
really?
Sauron had them all at his creepy, pokey fingertips. This led to retaliation from Eru, who had hardly directly intervened ever before, even against Morgoth. Eru sank Numenor, while Sauron was still on it. But the Dark Lord spirit persevered, indestructible even against the wrath of God. Sauron used the ring to build himself a new body.
The One Ring is practically indestructible, and Calagon the Black, the greatest of winged dragons, who leveled the mountains of Thangodrim, exceeding 479 gigatons of force, would not be able to damage... Oh, crap. Phone's ringing. I'll be right back. They didn't even answer. I picked up. Hello? Hello? Nothing. You think people would have better things to do with their lives? Even if it's a robocall, someone had to program that.
It may have cost a lot of power, but he took a biblical event to the face and went right back on to being evil.
Nice.
Yet, putting so much power into one object did have drawbacks. Which
hit
back hard when Isildur subtracted a digit from his hand.
Okay. In the books, Elrond claims that Sauron was overthrown while slaying Elendil and Gil-galad, but it was unclear how. Only afterward did Isildur take the One Ring. Okay.
King did more than
Tolkien being vague about something?
He took the ring and its power for himself. This act forced Sauron to retreat as a disembodied spirit, threatening his own power in the hands of another. And should the One Ring be destroyed completely, Sauron's spirit could be rendered impotent beyond repair. It isn't all bad, though.
But it would still
the ring can turn you
exist?
invisible, create visions of impending doom, and has one hell of a defense mechanism. Yeah, who'd want to destroy it when it makes you want it? Has a will of its own, with promises whispered even the best of us can't refuse. The greatest poultry dinner ever.
There's probably people that are unraveling the audio that it's saying.
Boomstick, bourbon, pecan.
Parmesan, turducken. It's so precious.
What did you just do?
What? It sounded delicious. Well, Sauron's a beast. He's swatted away armies of soldiers.
Okay. Flight and levitation, immortality, body regeneration, longevity, and spirit form. I guess we have had a character like that in Death Battle before, where they're immortal and didn't technically die when they were defeated. Starscream. Remember that? His spark is immortal, and Rainbow Dash just kind of ate it. Apparently, she put him in a sewing machine afterwards, is the official story. So he did technically survive getting defeated in Death Battle, so... yeah. Okay. Psychic and illusory magic. Shadow and flame magic. So those are put together. Shape-shifting, soul manipulation, teleportation, and weather manipulation. Interesting.
Interrupted Mount Doom through sheer willpower. He has total control over his own being and can modify his soul at will. So he can definitely resist someone like spooky ghost Celebrimbor trying to
he didn't say ghost
and
there.
Being among the strongest Maiar, the peak of Sauron's power is beyond that of Ose, a lesser Maya, which is specifically important because Ose single-handedly raised the island of Numenor.
Yeah, remember that island that got Noah'd? That place. No wonder everyone wants his ring. Who could...
The Valar have far greater feats, but Maiar such as Sauron have inferior power comparatively. Therefore, Sauron generally scales to feats performed by Maiar and other beings lesser than the Valar. Interesting.
Turn down that much power.
Not as Sildor. The hearts of men are easily corrupted, and he kept the ring rather than destroy it. But in the end, the ring destroyed him and waited for its master's return.
Sauron was rebuilding Mordor into a world-conquering force. And after a little bit of good old-fashioned torture, he found out the ring was in the Shire. The chillest, coziest, dopest place imaginable. Ah, man, when I
Hold on a second. Hold on.
The chillest, coziest, dopest place imaginable.
What kind of bird is that? Looks like a... I don't know what it is. It looks almost like a cockatoo with its wings out backwards. I don't know.
Ah, man, when I retire, I'm gonna go live in a hobbit hole and just get lit 24/7.
And so began...
I thought he said he was gonna go retire in the Ruby world. Capture destroyed from Mordor to Minas Tirith. There are probably people who immediately know how far that is. Directed much of Morgoth's war. Fled from Golder at hypersonic speed. Matched Celembrior's mind and soul power. Successfully subjugated most of Numenor. Survived divine intervention. Cool.
And the War of the Ring. Sauron's forces covered the land, seeking both the ring and the downfall of man, always shadowed by the symbol of his ever-present influence,
Awesome.
the Eye of Sauron.
It was a slaughterfest. Middle-earth stood no chance. Everybody basically accepted death by orcs as inevitable. It was hopeless. The kingdoms of men would finally fall for good.
Save for the Dark Lord's truest weakness. Sauron's cunning and stratagems were impressive, sure, but ultimately, he never truly understood the people of Middle-earth. In his mind, absolute power was factually irresistible. He never imagined a mere mortal could ever, or would ever, seek to actually destroy the One Ring.
Against all odds and a whole lot of walking, Sauron was defeated. Not by the sparkly new king or the armies of Middle-earth, but by the most unlikely creature imaginable. Elijah Wood.
Yet, even as a formless shadow, Sauron's legacy remains one of domination, treachery, and most of all, fear. Fitting for the being that represents, and I quote, as near an approach to the wholly evil will as is possible.
Cool.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Bespoke Post.
Shut.
the orc shaman Ner'zhul prepared a spell with his followers to tear the planet asunder. All to escape the fury of the demon lord Kil'jaeden.
But when Ner'zhul waltzed through the portal, Kil'jaeden was right there waiting for him.
Ner'zhul was forced to serve Kil'jaeden's will to ravage another world, Azeroth. Thus, he was transformed into the first Lich King.
Dang.
This Lord of the Dead was sent to the continent of Northrend, but Kil'jaeden had one more twist for poor Zul. His body was gone, leaving just his spirit, which was bound to a set of armor sealed within a prison of magical ice.
Ooh.
Man, this guy can't catch a break.
No, he
Armor
can't.
looks sick, though. He's gonna possess me if I put that on, huh?
From his
foreshadowing.
The Lich King would begin his conquest, conjuring an unstoppable plague of undeath. Soon, this would threaten the lives of the kingdom of Lordaeron.
Okay, so that was a lot, but here's where our main guy finally shows up. Lordaeron's crown prince and holy knight, Arthas Menethil. Yeah, his name does kind of sound like something your doctor would give you for fungus, but hey, no. Arthas was a badass. At 19 years old, he was considered
Okay, Arthas Menethil, Scourge Lord, King of the Damned, King of Lordaeron. 29 years, so that's just a blip compared to Sauron. Death Knight, former human paladin, former lover of Jaina Proudmoore, killed his own father, interned at Blizzard in 2017. Well, that explains a few things. About which side, I'm not sure.
Best swordsman in the world, and had mastered nearly every weapon he could.
Even with such a skilled warrior as its prince, Lordaeron was already severely pressured by a war with an orcish horde, so a zombie plague was the last thing Arthas needed. Compounding this even further,
really the last thing
break
pretty
free
much
of
anyone
Kil'jaeden's
needs.
power, and turned his attention toward creating a champion to lead his ever-growing scourge. Naturally, he chose Arthas.
Who was a stressed out mess, to the point where he tried to stop the plague by killing everyone in his own city. Holy shit! Yeah, he was totally losing it, so hearing a creepy voice in his head really didn't help.
Long story
Oh,
short,
I seem to remember that they, in the initial preview last week, they had a different line. And I don't memorize them, I only remember because in the comments people were talking about how, like, it wasn't the capital or something. I don't know, maybe that's a completely different line.
in his efforts to protect his realm, Arthas discovered a rune blade and took it for himself. This was the fearsome Frostmourne.
Surprise!
Cool.
It's the source of the Lich King's power.
Okay.
He was
Technically, the Helm of Domination serves as the Lich King's source of power. Frostmourne functions as a conduit. For Arthas specifically, Frostmourne is directly tied to his power. Okay.
stealing souls and storing them within the blade. With this new ice-cold cleaver in hand, Arthas lost his soul and got a Death Knight makeover.
And so the former hero of light would lead the very scourge he previously fought.
And in time, Arthas would don the armor for himself. giving
Yeah,
the
of
Lich
course he
King
would.
A new, ultimate power. Walking!
Remember, everything the Lich King had done up until this point had been from his prison within a literal block of ice.
Wow.
And this new Sauronite armor, Saronite armor, is the best. Like, what was it doing stuck in ice all this time when it's made of old god blood and self-repairs? Screw you, blacksmith! You're never taking my hard-earned gold! I'll never have to get naked and die again!
By donning this dark helm, Ner'zhul and Arthas fused to become one, a being far more powerful
Okay. Reaps and corrupts souls, can wound souls directly, so that's gonna be interesting. Grants dominion over the Scourge, houses the powers of the Lich King, transports to the Shadowlands. So, but he doesn't need to wear the helm to have the powers of the Lich King, does he? Like, if it gets knocked off his head, he still has that power, right? Because he kind of had that power when the armor was still in the ice? Well, he didn't, but the armor did. The armor still had that power. Self-repairs, resistant to magic, reflects holy and light magic. So I imagine, like, if the helm does get knocked off, it'll... I don't know. It can't move on its own, I assume. But the power will still be there, regardless of whether it's him or the armor itself.
than either had been before.
Resist
He
holy
can
and light
effortlessly
magic.
cover cities in
Resistant
ice
to
storms,
magic.
murder hundreds with the power of shadow, and learn all of your secrets with the Eye of Icarus.
Azeroth's fate was sealed. Everyone was doomed.
See this guy? He's Illidan, a 15,000-year-old demon hunter with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. As
Yeah.
a Death Knight, Arthas could take him down, even after fighting through a massive army to get to him. Against this new Lich King, Illidan never stood a chance.
This
Ooh.
is important because Illidan had absorbed the power of Gul'dan, an orc warlock who, alongside his followers, raised the Broken Isles out of the sea, a massively powerful feat of magic.
The fact that Arthas, a mortal guy, beat him up is
Okay, while seemingly retconned for a time, Warcraft 3 Reforged. Isn't that the one everyone was furious about because it was, like... Is that the one that was just on phones or something? I don't know, there was something. Reinstated Gul'dan, raising lands into canon. The feat is consistent across Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, and the Tides of Darkness novel. Cool.
a big deal. Just imagine how kick-ass he'd be in full control of the Undying Lich King powers. Oh wait, we don't have to.
Ner'zhul may have pulled Arthas' strings up until this point, but he had made a drastic
Revealed
miscalculation
secrets.
within
Now that's going to be interesting. It might... Well, I guess... would it be able to reveal Sauron's inability to connect with the minds of mortals? Because it's not really a secret that Sauron is actively aware of. Flight, levitation, ice magic and manipulation, immortality, mind and soul manipulation. Oh, they both have weather
the
manipulation. Cool.
mind of the Lich King. Arthas battled Ner'zhul for control and won. The power of Frostmourne.
Oh, here we go. Fury of Frostmourne deals massive damage and disables resurrection. Harvest Soul pulls a soul into Frostmourne to be devoured. Remorseless Winter. Goodness.
Of the scourge of Undeath itself was now under the command of Arthas.
And by this point, he was just done. Like, with everything.
Yeah.
We all had one of those days, right? Where you see all of humanity is so pathetic they can only be saved by just killing them all, so you rip out your own heart. Yeah, relatable.
Determined to end all life, Arthas led his scourge across Azeroth, spreading the plague to every corner of the world. He slaughtered every contender in his path, including legendary champions like this hero of the Horde, Dranosh Sarfang.
Who the Lich King bitch slapped to death in one
Was that
hit,
armor, or
and
did he
sacrificed
actually
to
have
serve
a
him instead.
metal
Man,
lower
that
jaw?
didn't go well.
The Lich King seemed unstoppable.
Only one thing could take him down. A
Oh, yeah?
25-man raid team of the best nerds World of Warcraft servers had to offer.
Okay, conquer the country quickly and effortlessly. Can canonically wipe out entire 25-man raid. Well, yeah. Destroyed a prison that endured planet-shaking attacks.
That one guy who was just there because he was friends with somebody, but damn, he sucked.
With these, heroes triumphant, the Paladin Tyrion shattered
These,
Frostmourne with an
heroes.
equally legendary blade, ending the Lich King's vile reign.
But the
For
Scourge
now.
doesn't work on Phantom Menace battle droid rules, so there must always be a Lich King to keep the relentless undead in check.
Yet
Cool.
no Lich King before or since ever matched the terror and malice Arthas brought to Azeroth.
Without a doubt, one of the most terrifying kings to ever conquer the world of Warcraft.
Neat.
This
Okay.
episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Shady Rays.
Shut. I could use some sunglasses, but... Okay, I don't know. It sounds like they counter each other blow for blow. They can both absorb souls and destroy them. They can both manipulate the weather. They both, scale to someone who can raise islands. I noticed, though, the ring can be destroyed, but it didn't say that the armor can be destroyed. It says that it self-heals or self-repairs, but It's weird because the thing with the ring being destroyed, they said it would render Sauron completely impotent. It didn't say that it would actually kill him, but then that seemed to be what happened at the end. And Lich King, Arthas can die. That was his name, right? Arthas? And, well, I mean, he's a lich, so he's already dead, but he can be destroyed. But the armor just keeps going. Or there has to be a Lich King, and I don't know if that's necessarily connected to the armor. Goodness gracious, this is, I know it sounds like a cop-out every time I do this, but I don't know. Sauron has, millennia of experience, but that's just compared to Arthas. Again, if that was his name, I don't actually remember. I was paying more attention to, like, the powers and stuff. Either way, we're going to get some hella destruction, so I think that's going to be awesome. Okay.
All right, the combatants are set. Run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for an undeath battle!
All right.
I shall claim what is mine.
Oh, really? Oh, damn it! Swear to God, next time that thing rings, I'm not even gonna bother. Not even gonna fucking bother. It was one of those things, someone in your house is a Medicare recipient. We're not going to tell you what's going on. We're just going to try to con you. Those people need to be ashamed of themselves. Oh my God. Anyway, I rewound it a couple seconds. Or maybe I didn't. There.
In this cold north, you will find only death.
Nice! Fight! Yeah, that ain't gonna work. It's just gonna piss him off. Yeah. Oh, there we go. The greatest wolf.
I'll tear out your
I'm hearing that whispering. Oh, awesome.
Your efforts are for naught.
Yeah! Oh! Ooh!
I see
Ooh. Yeah, because that's not the ring finger, but it shows his... No, we don't. So, I was gonna say, Sauron is more vulnerable physically since, his fingers can be hacked off. Oh, yeah? Ooh. The whole hand just go off? Oh ho ho!
there is no light.
Did that change what finger it was on? Oh. Ooh. I have no idea what just happened. KO!
Well, if he wasn't all powerful before, look out for supercharged Sauron now.
Despite the Lich King's impressive power, Sauron's might was absolute.
But not before he got the duel of his life in a crazy close bout. First up, both Dark Lords could counter pretty much any mind or soul-screwing powers, making a lot of their usual tricks way less noteworthy in this match.
To be fair, the Lich King severely debilitated Sauron via...
Okay, Ner'zhul performed a spell that destroyed a planet, but it required preparation, special items, and a group of followers. Also, the destruction of Draenor was a chain reaction of the spell going haywire over time, making it impossible to directly scale to Ner'zhul. Fair enough.
his plague of undead. Most physical bodies would not survive such a disease.
So Sauron just got rid of his body.
Neat.
Who needs it? Especially when you can rebuild one or just start fighting as a ghost. Both things Sauron could do.
After all, the plague is intended for...
Okay. Yeah, it could fight in... Oh, wow. Sauron had no down points. Could fight in physical and spirit form, less obvious weaknesses, more powerful, resisted mental and soul attacks, and superior regeneration. Armor resisted magical attacks. Helm could block mental and soul attacks. Plague of Undeath affected Sauron's physical body, but he was far less experienced and less powerful.
Organic mortal enemies and has never infected a spirit.
Another smaller point for Sauron was his weakness. The Lich King was a clever bastard, but even with the Eye of Icarus, it would have been tough for him to decode and destroy the One Ring. Meanwhile, given enough power, Sauron would naturally end up destroying Frostmourne. He's kinda got a thing for breaking swords.
So let's compare their power. While they're...
Okay. An unnamed Eridar has destroyed the surface of a planet, but cannot scale to the Lich King as Eridar vary in power. Yeah. You know, just as beings tend to. Similarly, special Maiar have moved the sun and moon, but it is unclear how they compare to Sauron. Scaling both generously, Sauron would still be more powerful. Have you guys ever heard of a game called Magical Starsign? You just move the planets around like nothing in that game. Because, like, your spells get more or less powerful depending on the position of the planets. So you could just do that whenever you want. I want to know what kind of fucking bullshit that would be on Death Battle. Yes, I know there's a previous game called Magical Vacation. I haven't played it.
Our highest limits are certainly nebulous. Interestingly enough, some of the most impressive feats from both worlds involve lifting islands. As Sauron is a more powerful Maya than Osei, and the Lich King could reliably defeat someone with Gul'dan's magic, it is possible to gauge the difference in power by measuring the islands that were raised.
Really?
Keep in mind, Gul'dan had a bunch of help, so we're only giving him his share. Turns out, Osei was doing twice the work.
By examining official maps to determine the volume of the islands, we found a
I'm not gonna
difference
pause
between
for that.
lifting 2 quadrillion tons of rock versus 4 quadrillion tons, among further energy required to actually lift these through the ocean, of course. Both impressive, sure, but Sauron had the edge.
And for the final nail in the coffin, the Lich King might have been super...
When compared to the Balrogs and Illidan, Sauron and the Lich King could both reach high hypersonic speeds of around Mach 30! Holy shit, they both seem slow moving.
Scary, but he really wasn't around for all that long. At least not when compared to the experience Sauron has warring with the world for thousands of years.
Tens
The
of
Lich King
thousands.
certainly posed a threat to Sauron, but the ruler of Mordor's awesome might, enduring spirit, and millennia of treachery proved him the superior Dark Lord.
Wow!
Is that it?
What? Are you sour on the pun? I was pretty keen about it.
The winner is Sauron.
Okay, I just know people are going to not understand what the pun is in WoW. World of Warcraft. I know a lot of you are going to say, yeah, thanks, Blackjack, I had no idea. But you just know there are people out there who honestly didn't put that together. Okay.
Hey, if you want more Death Battle
Okay.
ASAP, why not grab a membership? You'll get exclusive emotes, badges, live chat, live
No
streams,
thanks.
a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff. Just click that join
Okay,
button.
let's
Thanks
see.
for watching.
Who we got? My Hero... Oh my god, Deku. Oh, Black Clover. Deku versus Asta. I have never heard of Asta. No, actually, maybe I have. I don't know. I would have thought they would wait until My Hero was over. I mean, they did All Might, but that's because All Might's best days are behind him. Okay, I have heard of Asta. I just don't know anything about him. I would not have been able to identify what series he was from. Gosh, yeah, I would have thought they would have waited until My Hero was completely finished by the time they used Deku, because he has not reached his full potential. Is Black Clover over? Let me look that up. Black Clover anime. No, it's not either. See, serialized in Shueisa's Shonen Manga Magazine, Weekly Shonen Jump since February 2015. Is that recent? This chapter is collected in 33 tankobon volumes as of November 2020 or 2022. Okay, so that's not over either. So that's interesting. One does not simply watch Death Battle without getting excited, is the top comment right now. Let's see. I like how in more recent death battles they go for more character-driven deaths rather than glory spectacles. Sauron sucking out the Lich King's soul before dumping his corpse on the ground and then taking his throne feels truer to his malicious character than some Mortal Kombat demise. Yeah. Man, I do wonder what Tolkien would think about his character winning. You know, after we get past the whole internet existing in the first place discussion. All the comments I read out loud, I give a thumbs up to. Anyway, that was really cool, even though it was kind of hard to keep track of some things. Simply because I was trying to match it up to the feats that had been mentioned before. I thought it was really cool. The animation was brilliant. The voice acting was really good. It's one of my, you know how I do voice acting sometimes. And if you didn't know that, I have a playlist. If you check out my Hear My Voice playlist on my channel, then one of my goals is to play someone on Death Battle. I think that'd be really fun. That'd be awesome. I think that'd be cool. And I would be in the comments. I would be like, "Thanks, everyone." I've only seen one voice actor actually respond in the comments. Oh, goodness gracious. What do you think, Athena? Oh, there you are. Hi. See, she is right there on her pink perch. She was down there in the box for a lot of it. And it's funny because I'm actually pointing at the television, but if I were to point actually at the box, the angle is such that you couldn't see it. But yeah, so Athena's up there. She was so excited when I got back from the con yesterday, and because my dad picked me up, and my mom was finishing up dinner, and she had Athena on her perch in the kitchen, and Athena was so excited she tried to fly to me and flopped straight on the ground. And Sonic doesn't really seem to care. She's just sitting there watching me. Hi, baby budgie. Hi. You're so sweet and cute. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Let's see. For characters to discuss this week, I didn't really bring anyone up. I mean, I brought up Magical Starsign, but there's no way that any of you except Netbug have played that game, and I only know Netbug played it because I lent it to her. Do not understand the ending of that game. I do not understand it. And I was willing to give suspension of disbelief when the whole school students being able to move planets around basically for the heck of it. Okay, so since none of you have played Magical Starsign, so I'm not going to bring up the unnamed main character, who I named Zinnia with an X. Yeah, it's hard to discuss that game because you can't actually, like, there's no default name for the main character. But anyway, how about... How about Gandalf? Let's say who would Gandalf fight? I know people want him to fight Dumbledore. I don't understand that. He is way more powerful than anything Dumbledore ever did. Although, apparently, the last literary character, or rather, character of literary origin, to be in death battle was Harry Potter. So, yeah, it's been a very long time. Well, you know, comic book characters count as literature, right? You know, I don't want to be one of those sticks in the mud. But you know what I mean, as far as you know what I mean. I don't want to sound like one of those arrogant English teachers who think that whatever isn't literature. I remember when Mouse came out, and it won, I think it was the Pulitzer. And people were shocked that a comic book could be considered literature. And yeah, it was a whole weird thing. Anyway, okay. If you watch this far, tell me. I wonder how many people cut off at the end of the battle and how many people actually like to listen to my rambling, because I always ramble. I mean, it's kind of a Blackjack specialty at this point. Anyway, until next time, I'm Blackjack Aviani, and you're not. And with the way my legs are hurting, you should probably be grateful.